Hi, favorite family. Good morning and welcome back to Mornings with Clarice. So today is Wednesday, June 10th, and we're going to get right into it. All right. So what we're talking about today is something that we often don't verbalize. You have no friends, and I'm here to tell you that's okay. And so this thought came to me just randomly the other day, and I knew I needed to pay attention to this thought that I had. At first, it sounded harsh, but the more I sat with it, the more I understood what God was showing me. Many of us have spent years being discouraged because we were never a part of a large friend group. And certain relationships have faded over time. And we start to wonder, what's wrong with us? We wonder why people drift away. We wonder why we don't seem to fit into certain circles. But what if some of those relationships were only meant for a season? What if the person you are becoming no longer fits the expectations that others had of you? I know that's true for my own life. I am not the same person I was raised to be. The quiet person who lived in fear is no longer me. The people pleaser who constantly worried about everyone else's feelings while neglecting her own, it's no longer me. The person who stays silent to keep others comfortable, no longer me. The person who went along just to get along, that is not me. God has changed me. And when God changes you, some relationships naturally change too. That's one of the difficult realities of growth. Because the more you heal, the more you develop discernment. The more you become comfortable with who God created you to be, the less willing you are to shrink yourself to fit in to someone else's expectations. And unfortunately, not everyone celebrates that. Some people were comfortable with the version of you that lacked boundaries. Some people preferred the version of you that never challenged them. Some people enjoyed the version of you that always put them first. And when you begin to grow, it can create distance. Not because you're better than anyone, and not because they're bad people, but because you no longer relate to one another in the same way. And that can lead us to ask an uncomfortable question. Were we ever really friends? Sometimes the answer is yes. And sometimes the answer is that you were simply associates brought together by circumstance, convenience, history, or just something familiar. And that's okay. Proverbs 13:20 reads, "Whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, but the companion of fools will suffer harm." This scripture teaches us that who we walk closely with matters. Friendship is not simply about proximity. It's about alignment, character, wisdom, and mutual growth. Just because someone is not your friend does not mean they are your enemy. It simply means discernment is required. Not everyone deserves access to your inner world. Not everyone is assigned to walk every season of your journey with you. So for years, I felt left out when I've seen large groups of people who seem to have endless friendships and social circles. But looking back, I can see that God was protecting me from confusion, drama, and unnecessary heartache. what I thought I was missing was often something I didn't actually need. And so I started to think how grateful I was for my husband. God gave me a husband who has been one of the greatest friends in my life. And one of the greatest gifts my husband has given me is the freedom to grow. He's allowed me to become who God created me to be. And everything has not been easy, but it has been life-giving. And yes, I do have other people in my life that I cherish deeply as well. You all know that I often mention my destiny helper, Brittany. She is a true friend and a blessing in my life. There are people I genuinely love and appreciate. But this message isn't about having no one. It's about being honest about the difference between true friendship and mere association. Many of us use the word friend too loosely. And because of that, we've sometimes been hurt by people when we expected things from them that they were never equipped or assigned to give. That's how many people end up surrounded by frenemies instead of genuine friendships. So start with God. God is a true friend. Build your relationship with Him first. And learn to enjoy your own company. I know I do, probably a little bit too much, okay? Become your own friend. Develop discernment. Pay attention to who consistently brings peace, wisdom, encouragement, and alignment into your life. And be careful about who you allow close access to your heart. Not everyone is meant to walk closely with you, and that's okay. Keep becoming, keep growing, keep trusting God. The right people will recognize who you are becoming and celebrate it instead of resisting it. And so here's an affirmation to end. I trust God to align me with the right people for my journey. I honor my growth, value my peace, and use discernment in my relationships. So I'm going to ask you a question. Have you outgrown a relationship only to realize later that it was part of God's plan for your growth? Leave it in the comments.